Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, today we're digging into some really great expressions, actually taken from a Speak Duo lesson.
That's right.
And if you're looking to practice your English speaking, maybe meet people from all over, speakduo.com is definitely worth checking out. It's all about video calls to boost your confidence.
Absolutely. So today's mission is really about moving beyond those, basic words. We're looking at phrases that add real nuance, especially for you advanced learners out there.
Yeah, these are the kinds of expressions that give your English more precision, more impact.
Let's just jump right in then. First up, the art of something. This one always feels, kind of elevated.
It is, yeah. It's more than just saying someone has a skill. The art of implies a real craft, something done exceptionally well. Think mastery, finesse.
Okay, so if I said the skill of negotiation, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
The art of negotiation. It's different. How so?
Well, skill just means you can do it. Competence. But the art of suggests something deeper. It's like finely tuned, maybe involving intuition, subtle judgment. Almost like it can't quite be taught from a textbook.
Ah, I see. It signals you understand the complexity.
Exactly. Using the art of tells your listener you see the dedication, the subtle stuff involved. It makes your own point sound more insightful.
Right. So in a work situation, I might tell a newer colleague, look, the art of negotiation, that takes years to really master. It sets the right expectation.
Precisely. It frames it as a journey. Or, a more general chat, maybe like an IELTS speaking question about difficult skills.
Yeah.
You could say, I'd probably say the art of listening. It's incredibly difficult because, people often just wait for their turn to talk rather than truly hearing.
That's a great example. It definitely elevates the idea beyond just, not interrupting. It shows you see the depth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's switch it up. How about a word that really packs a punch? Staggering.
Ah, yes. Staggering. It means extremely surprising or shocking. So much so that it could almost make you, stagger. Physically stumble.
So it's stronger than just very surprising or even astonishing.
Oh, definitely. Astonishing is surprising, but staggering. It carries this weight of disbelief, almost being overwhelmed by the fact or figure.
What's the advantage of using it then in a conversation?
Well, it's about impact. It's not just giving information, it's conveying the shock of that information.
Yeah.
You're kind of inviting the listener to feel that sense of disbelief with you.
Right, moving them from just hearing to actually feeling the weight of it.
Exactly.
So in a project update meeting, I could report, unfortunately, the cost overrun on the new stadium project was sacked.
Perfect. It says much more than just hi. It conveys that shock, maybe even concern.
Okay, and for a more general example, like that IELTS style again.
Sure. If asked about a surprising fact, you might say, oh, yes, definitely. When I learned the staggering amount of water needed just to make one pair of jeans, well, that really stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah, that works. It makes the fact feel really significant, forces you to pause. Staggering really drives the point home.
It does. It adds that emotional weight.
All right, let's look at something a bit more optimistic, perhaps. Ask and you shall receive. I like the sound of this one.
Yeah, it's got a nice feel. It basically means if you request something, there's a good chance, maybe even a high likelihood you'll get it. It feels almost like a proverb.
So it's not just saying if you ask, you might get it. That sounds a bit weak in comparison.
Right. Might get it is just, a possibility. Ask and you shall receive carries this stronger sense of optimism, like there's a principle at play. Not quite a guarantee, but...
But a strong encouragement, like the universe or maybe just people are often responsive if you just speak up.
Exactly that. It suggests opportunities often appear when you actually voice what you want or need.
So, chatting with a friend, I might say, I just casually mentioned wanting some different projects, and my boss immediately put me on this new initiative. Ask and you shall receive, I guess.
That's a great everyday example. It shows that direct link between asking and getting.
And maybe if someone asks you philosophically, do you believe in ask and you shall receive?
You could answer, actually, yes. Thinking back, a lot of the best opportunities in my life came about simply because I found the courage to ask for what I wanted. It frames it as a proactive approach.
Yeah, it's a good reminder. Sometimes just asking is the biggest step. It suggests the world isn't always closed off if you just knock.
Precisely.
Okay, next. A more casual one. A guy ought to do something. Sounds very down to earth.
It is. It's just a relaxed way of saying someone should do something, more of a suggestion than a demand.
Right. Definitely softer than one should or it's obligatory.
Yeah.
What makes it feel so approachable?
Well, it frames it as general common sense advice, like, hey, it's probably a good idea if. It doesn't sound preachy or like you're laying down the law. It sort of invites agreement.
So talking about, say, wellness at work, I might say, you know, after a really intense project, a person ought to take a proper break to recharge. Gentle, universal advice.
Exactly. Or if someone asks you, maybe for IELTS again, what's one healthy habit everyone should have?
Yeah.
You can naturally, well, oh, exercise. Definitely. A guy ought to get some regular exercise, Keeps you healthy, and it's amazing for stress. It's your opinion, but present it as a general good idea.
Perfect for giving advice without sounding bossy. Keeps it friendly.
Huh?
Okay, let's talk about scrap of paper. This one conjures up a very specific image.
It really does. A scrap of paper is just a small piece, often kind of unimportant looking.
Yeah.
And yet, it often implies something done quickly, maybe without much planning, kind of informal.
So it's not just any small piece of paper. The word scrap adds something, like it's leftover or insignificant.
Exactly. Scrap suggests informality, maybe improvisation, something jotted down quickly, not on proper stationery. It implies it wasn't given a lot of formal thought or preparation, maybe done in a rush.
Right, so I could describe someone's presentation prep saying, he gave an amazing talk, but you won't believe it, he had his entire notes scribbled on this tiny scrap of paper.
Perfect. It highlights the contrast between the informal preparation and the successful outcome.
And general context, maybe about note-taking habits?
Sure. If asked, do you still write things down on paper? You could say, not usually for important stuff. I prefer digital notes now. Relying on a scrap of paper just feels a bit disorganized to me.
Yeah, highlights that feeling of it being maybe makeshift or temporary. It's a very visual phrase.
It is.
Okay, here's one that feels very relevant to what we do here. It isn't rationed.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah, it means something isn't limited. It's available freely, in abundance, no scarcity.
More emphatic than just saying it's plentiful or unlimited, right?
Right.
What's the extra layer?
Well, ration specifically makes you think of things that are limited, like food during wartime or supplies in a crisis. So, saying something isn't rationed strongly emphasizes its free, unrestricted, boundless availability. It implies anyone can access it.
That makes sense. So in the context of learning, you could absolutely say, knowledge isn't rationed. You can always learn more, especially now with the internet.
Exactly. It underlines that incredible accessibility. No gatekeepers, no limits.
And if someone asks, maybe philosophically, what's one thing in life that truly isn't rationed?
Ooh, good question. You might say creativity. I think creativity isn't rationed. Anyone can tap into it anywhere, and it doesn't run out.
That's a great answer. It really highlights abundance and universal access.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of abundance and vastness, like an ocean, a classic comparison.
That's very evocative.
Yeah.
Used to describe something immense, vast, perhaps seemingly limitless.
And it feels bigger, somehow deeper than just saying huge or extensive. What's that extra dimension?
I think like an ocean brings in the idea of depth, maybe hidden currents, the unknown, something so vast you can't see the edges, can't possibly explore all of it. It suggests profundity, not just size.
Right, like the common example. The internet is like an ocean of information. It captures that feeling of endlessness and maybe being a bit overwhelmed.
Precisely. It's not just a lot of information. It's a vast, deep, ever-shifting body of it.
And for a more abstract example, if asked, what else feels like an ocean?
You could say something like, human potential, maybe? It seems boundless, incredibly deep within each person, and largely unexplored, like an ocean waiting to be discovered.
Wow, that's quite profound. Yeah, like an ocean gives that sense of immense scale and mystery.
It does.
Okay, here's a really active one. Trade your teaspoon for a bucket. I love the visual here.
Me too. It's a great metaphor. It means think bigger, aim much higher, especially when you realize an opportunity is huge. Don't limit yourself.
So much stronger than just aim high or be ambitious. What makes the teaspoon bucket image work so well?
It's the scale change. It implies the opportunity is like an ocean. And you're currently equipped with just a tiny teaspoon. It urges a radical shift in your approach, your tools, your mindset to match the massive scale of what's available. Prepare to scoop up a lot more.
Got it. So in a business strategy meeting, you might say, look, team, if this market really is an ocean of potential, We need to trade our teaspoon for a bucket with our next campaign.
Exactly. It's a clear call to scale up ambitions and actions dramatically.
And a personal example, maybe a time you had to do this.
Sure. You could say, when I first started my online business, I was thinking small. But then the initial response was huge. I realized the global market was massive, and I had to quickly trade my teaspoon for a bucket in terms of production and marketing.
Perfect illustration. It's about recognizing abundance and equipping yourself properly to benefit from it.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, last one, but maybe the most fundamental for communication. Be clear, be specific.
Ah, yes. The cornerstone. It's a direct command. Give detailed, precise information so there's no misunderstanding.
It seems simple, but why both clear and specific isn't precise enough?
Well, you can be clear but vague, or specific but confusingly technical. Clear means easy to understand, unambiguous. Specific means detailed, exact, leaving nothing out. You need both for truly effective communication. It's a demand for clarity and detail. No room for error or guesswork.
Okay, that makes sense. So at work, when assigning tasks, you definitely tell your team, okay, everyone, when you delegate work, please remember, be clear, be specific.
Absolutely vital. Leaves no room for doubt about who does what, when, how.
And a general situation where this is crucial.
Well, think about giving directions to someone lost in a city. You have to be clear and specific. Or a doctor explaining medication instructions. Precision is absolutely critical there.
Good examples, yeah. Be clear, be specific, simple words, but so important for making sure things actually get done right.
Couldn't agree more.
Wow, okay. We've covered some really useful, nuanced phrases today. Hopefully you listeners are feeling a bit more equipped.
Yeah, some great tools there.
So now let's do a quick mental workout, a little quiz to help cement these ideas. No pressure, just a chance to check your understanding.
Ready when you are.
All right. Question 1. What does the art of something suggest in context? Is it A, a repetitive action done over time, B, a skill developed with effort and nuance, or C, a natural ability one is born with? Feel free to hit pause if you need a second to think.
Okay, the answer is B, a skill developed with effort and nuance. Remember we talked about the art of negotiation. It implies that deep mastery and finesse, not just basic ability.
Perfect. Question 2. In context, how would you interpret the phrase staggering when describing a fact? A, difficult to analyze due to complexity, B, extremely surprising or hard to believe, or C, likely to change with new information? Pause here if you like.
And the answer is B again, extremely surprising or hard to believe. Think of that staggering cost example. It conveys shock, almost disbelief.
Got it. Question 3. What idea is conveyed by ask and you shall receive? A, if you are polite, people will assist you. B, if you demand often, results will follow. Or C, if you request openly, opportunities may come. Take a moment to pause if needed.
The answer here is C. If you request openly, opportunities may come. It's about that optimistic principle voicing your need or desire often leads to positive outcomes, like asking for cake and getting it.
Excellent. Question 4. What does the phrase a guy ought to do something imply? A, it casually suggests what someone should do. B, it expresses a strong personal obligation. Or C, it harshly criticizes someone's behavior. Feel free to pause.
This one is A. It casually suggests what someone should do. Remember, a person ought to take care of their health. It's gentle, common sense advice, not a harsh command.
Right. Question 5. How is scrap of paper used in the lesson? A, it implies something is poorly planned or informal. B, it highlights something written with importance. Or C, it refers to a temporary or draft idea. Go ahead and pause if you want.
The answer is A. It implies something is poorly planned or informal. Like the speaker writing his whole speech on a tiny scrap of paper suggests informality, maybe even improvisation.
Okay, question 6. In the context of learning, what does it isn't rationed suggest? A, resources are available to a limited few. B, opportunities must be earned through effort. Or C, knowledge or ideas are unlimited and free to access. Pause for thought.
And that's C. Knowledge or ideas are unlimited and free to access. Knowledge isn't rationed, it's abundant, available to everyone, unlike scarce resources.
Great. 2 more. Question 7. What does the phrase like an ocean imply when referring to information? A, it is scattered and unorganized. B, it is vast, deep, and hard to fully grasp. Or C, it is constantly in motion and unclear. Pause if you need to.
The answer is B. It is vast, deep, and hard to fully grasp, just like the internet being like an ocean of information, immense, profound, full of unknowns.
And the final question, number 8. What is meant by trade your teaspoon for a bucket? A, prepare to think bigger and seize more. B, adjust to take smaller steps at a time. Or C, learn to reduce expectations gradually. Last chance to pause.
And the answer is A, prepare to think bigger and seize more. If the opportunity is an ocean, you need to scale up your thinking and tools, trade your teaspoon for a bucket to really take advantage of it.
Fantastic. So how did you all do? Hopefully that quiz helps solidify things. These phrases, they really are shortcuts to sounding more informed, more confident, more nuanced in English.
Absolutely. And understanding is the first step, but the real key, the actual art of it, is using them. Try to weave them into your conversations, your writing. Practice really does make perfect here.
Definitely. Make them part of your active vocabulary. So as we wrap up, here's something for you to think about. Considering that knowledge is so vast, like an ocean, and thankfully it isn't rationed, how can you personally trade your teaspoon for a bucket in your own learning? Maybe just by remembering to ask and you shall receive the help or resources you need.
A great thought to end on.
Until next time on Superbly Said.